I was a bit tired from all the skyblock grind, and where do you go when you're bored? You watch some darn man. Okay, maybe not. I don't think I'm mentally prepared for that. Instead, I went to the YouTube section on the skyblock Reddit and managed to find this hidden gem. A guide on how to kill tier 2 Enderman Slayer with the cheapest set. The tier 2 Enderman boss has 15 million health and deals 5000 damage per second. Even players with Necron's armor find it difficult to slay this.
The Monster Raider set.
What? Is this some sort of joke? And it actually worked. Now, the fact that you can do tier 2 Enderman Slayer with this armor set already establishes it as the best early game armor, considering how even Necron's armor isn't enough for the job. So I decided to compare it with another very popular early game armor, the Strong Dragon armor, which is roughly at the same price point. I'll also be comparing it with Full Shadow Assassin and Necron's armor to see how much of a difference there is. Now, before we begin, I just want to thank UDK for mentioning this armor in his Enderman Slayer video. I wouldn't have known about it if it weren't for him. This is just one of the armor sets he mentioned, and if you want to know the strategy for tier 2 Enderman Slayer, go check him out. I'll link his video in the description. Alright, now let's talk about the armor. You need a skeleton's helmet, guardian chestplate, creeper pants, and tarantula boots. Putting on the armor will award you with this special achievement and an invitation to one of those weird fashion shows.
The year is 2020.
Oh god, I look so ridiculous. If you look at the stats alone, it's pretty mediocre, but what's special about this armor is the full set bonus. You take 35% less damage from monsters and you deal 35% more damage to monsters. And because that isn't already enough, each armor piece from the set has its ability. The helmet generates up to 3 bones that prevent you from taking damage. The chestplate blocks the first damage you take when you are at full health. The pants allow you to rip a massive fart, forcing the mobs in a 5-mile radius around you to move out of the way, which is pretty useful if you are trying to avoid getting COVID. And the last ability, which I personally think is the best. Oh my god, I can finally double jump. Now you need to be Spider Slayer 4 to use this set, which isn't too hard to achieve. But if you are not a Spider Slayer 4, or if you are as broke as a college student, just replace the Tarantula boots with the Spider boots, and you will get the Monster Hunter armor. The Monster Hunter set is cheaper and doesn't have any requirements, but the Monster Raider is the upgraded variant, so obviously the stats are better. It's not that difficult to reach Spider Slayer 4, and it's only slightly more expensive, so I would still recommend getting the Monster Raider set. Alright, let's start by comparing the base stats. Like I said earlier, the Monster Raider's base stats aren't exactly the best. It gives the lowest health and defense, and it is also the only armor here that doesn't give you damage stats, but it makes up for it with its abilities and full set bonus. I'm also using the upgraded version of Shadow Assassin armor for this comparison, the one that you get by surrounding the base version with remnants of Livid's body. And I'm not gonna go over all the stats for each armor because I trust that you guys are educated and able to read, so just pause the video if you want to know them. Alright, now let's head over to the graveyard to do some damage tests. Oh hey, what's that? Oh, it's just my dead YouTube career. I'll be using a withered Livid dagger with 1 for all and no pet equipped because I don't want to be cancelled by vegan teacher.
It is not really vegan to have any kind of a pet.
All my talismans are on Shaded Reforged cause I'm too lazy to optimize them, and all my armor sets I'm comparing will be on Ancient Reforged. I'm also using a God Potion if that matters to you. Coming in at 113,000 damage, the armor that dealt the least damage was the Strong Dragon armor, which is kinda ironic. You might as well call it the weak ass dragon armor. Next up we have the Monster Raider armor, dealing a staggering amount of 129,000 damage. 16,000 more damage than the Strong Dragon armor. Seriously, Strong Dragon, you need to step up your game. The Shadow Assassin armor dealt 133,000 damage, only 4,000 more damage than the Monster Raider armor, which was kinda unexpected. And unsurprisingly, the Necron's armor dealt the most damage at 143,000 damage. I'm really impressed by how well the Monster Raider set performed because despite being the cheapest set here, it is actually comparable to the way more expensive Shadow Assassin and Necron's armor. Speaking of cost, here are the prices of all 4 armor sets. All prices are taken as of the time I'm recording, so don't sue me if it's different when you buy them. Despite how amazing the Monster Raider set is, there are 2 major downsides. Well, 3 if you care about how you look. Number 1, you can't dungeonize the full set. The only pieces you can add stars to are the boots and the helmet. So you'll only be doing the earlier floors with this set. I mean, you shouldn't be doing floor 7 with this set anyways. The other major issue is that this armor has low EHP. It is best used when fighting single target mobs like Slayer bosses or things like Zealot grinding. But if you are a brave champ taking on multiple forces of nature at once, you might run into some trouble. The health and defense stats are fucking terrible, though it's still not as terrible as the latest Fast and Furious movies. The only thing standing between you and certain death is family. I mean 3 magic bones and explosive diarrhea. which doesn't exactly sound reassuring. Because of your low EHP, this makes dungeon runs slightly more dangerous, especially if you run into a room full of mobs. But hey, at least you'll be doing decent damage. In conclusion, the Monster Raider set is a really good budget set for early game players. Even if you're not early game, this set is still really powerful outside dungeons, and you can even use it to replace the Shadow Assassin armor, saving you millions of coins. And I mean, come on, this set literally helped me kill my first tier 2 Enderman Slayer boss.
We got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. 10 kills on the board right now. Just wiped out Tomato Town.